Trump sending Texas National Guard troops to Chicago is utterly insane. The governor of Texas approved it as he knows their sole duty is to protect federal officials. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong is the president deploying red state military to blue states against the will of those blue states' elected representatives. What happened to states' rights? What happened is a 1,000% increase on assaults against ICE agents, and we have blue state mayors and governors like J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson who are openly hostile to ICE. So maybe it will take red state guardsmen to make sure our federal immigration agents are protected from assault. Texas itself was the place where recently both a sniper fired at an ICE facility in Dallas and there was an ambush in Alvarado, so maybe Texas should deal with itself first. The difference is in Texas, state and local law enforcement collaborates and works with ICE in assistance and protection of officials, while Chicago is a sanctuary city, and there were recently reports that Chicago police were given a stand-down order when ICE asked them to assist in enforcing the law, dealing with an angry mob of protesters. Well, the Chicago police superintendent has flat out denied that report and said CPD has been enforcing the law at many ICE protests and has reaffirmed that his department will make sure laws are being followed and show up even if that crime is committed against ICE. And also the Illinois State Police and surrounding Chicagoland departments have been arresting ICE protesters, so the idea they are being left alone is absurd. Well, News Nation obtained an audio call of Chicago's chief of patrol telling officers not to respond when ICE agents were having their cars boxed in by about 10 cars, one of whom was driven by a lady who allegedly had a weapon which forced ICE agents to fire in self-defense. Yeah, well, the CPD superintendent said they had officers present at that incident, but regardless, we need to zoom out. Trump federalizing the Illinois National Guard along with sending the Texas Guard to Chicago comes days after Trump said in a speech to our nation's generals that he wants to use our cities as training grounds for the military and that we are under invasion from within. And later in a speech to Navy sailors, he said we have to take care of this little gnat on our shoulder called the Democrats. So all this protection of federal agents seems like a guise of a much larger agenda. Look, out of context quotes lined up back to back are not indicative of actions. All that's happening is the president using Title 10 powers to send National Guard troops to protect federal property and agents. Let's stop pretending it's anything else. Well, let's not pretend a judge didn't rule in September that Trump's federalized National Guard in LA violated Posse Comitatus by going beyond mere protection of federal officials. Yeah, by establishing perimeters and doing crowd control. That just seems like a different definition of protecting ICE agents, which is why that judge's order is being seen in the appeals court. Yeah, well, it's clear this administration is pushing the limits to terrorize blue cities and seek retribution against us Democrats, half the country, whom he sees as a gnat. What a unifying president. That's only clear to you. To me, this is all about protecting law enforcement agents, and the only Democrat who I think is a gnat is Zero Glua. That was such an unpredictable statement. Great job. Thanks.